Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of our English Learning Podcast. We are broadcasting live from our brand new, stunning studio here in Dumbo, Brooklyn. I'm Lily, and honestly, I am completely mesmerized by the view today. Looking out at the East River and the Manhattan skyline, it feels like the city is just waking up with us.
It really is a beautiful sight, Lily. Good morning to you and a very warm welcome to all our listeners joining us from every corner of the globe. I'm James. Sitting here in this creative, industrial space, surrounded by the hustle and bustle of New York, it makes me think about how life is built on the small things we do every single day.
That is such a profound observation to start with, James. You're right. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but looking at the people walking across the Brooklyn Bridge right now, I realize everyone spends those hours so differently. Some people look so ready for the day, while others, well, they look like they need 3 more cups of coffee.
Exactly. And that is exactly why we are here today. We aren't just here to learn English, we are here to talk about the secret sauce of success, daily routines. For our friends listening, this is the perfect way to improve your English. You're not just memorizing grammar rules from a textbook, you are absorbing a lifestyle and a mindset.
That's the goal. We want to help you describe your day naturally, using the kind of English you'd hear right here in New York. But more than that, we want to help you think about how to make your own day more productive, more peaceful, and just better.
Whether you are at an A1 level and just starting your journey, or a B1 learner looking for those native-like expressions, this episode has something for you. We're going to dive into the NYC hustle, but also the importance of a mindful morning. It's about finding balance in a city that never sleeps.
I love that. A balance between the energy of Brooklyn and the calm of a focused mind. I'm more than ready to dive into this, James. Shall we get started and help our listeners build their best day ever?
Let's do it, Lily. Let's get started.
So, James, let's get right into it. I want to talk about the very beginning of the day, the moment the sun starts hitting these brick buildings in Brooklyn. To be honest, I really struggle with mornings. Actually, I think I'm a total night owl. In a city like New York, there's always something happening at 2 a.m., and I often find myself staying up way too late. What about you? What does a perfect morning routine look like for a mentor?
Well, Lily, that is a struggle many New Yorkers face. But the first thing we have to understand is that there is no universal, perfect routine, only the one that works for your body and your goals. However, for me, I'm an early bird. I usually start my day at 6 a.m. And here is the most important rule. I never, ever hit the snooze button.
Oh, you're one of those people. I know that phrase well, but for our listeners, could you explain why that little button is so dangerous?
Certainly. The snooze button is that button on your alarm clock that gives you 10 more minutes of sleep. But actually, when you hit it, you are starting your day by procrastinating. You are telling your brain that your first goal of the day isn't worth waking up for. It puts you in a foggy state. I prefer to rise and shine immediately. I start with a glass of lemon water to hydrate my body after 8 hours of rest.
That sounds very disciplined. I usually reach for my phone before I even reach for water. I'll spend 20 minutes checking emails, reading the news, or scrolling through Instagram while I'm still under the covers. Is that bad?
To be honest, Lily, that's a habit I would strongly suggest you change. When you check your phone immediately, you put your brain in a reactive state. You are letting the world's problems enter your mind before you've even had a chance to breathe. Instead, I spend 15 minutes meditating. It helps me find inner peace and focus before the noise of Brooklyn starts to pick up.
I've tried meditating, but my mind just won't stay still. It immediately jumps to my to-do list or what I'm going to wear to the studio.
That's completely natural. The goal isn't to have a blank mind, it's to notice your thoughts and gently bring your focus back to your breath. After that, I get ready for the day. I take a cold shower, which sounds crazy, I know, but it really wakes up the nervous system. Then I have a high-protein breakfast. No sugary cereal for me.
Okay, so you've meditated, showered, and eaten. Now comes the part I find most New York, the commute. Since we're here in Dumbo today, do you walk across the bridge or brave the subway?
Well, if I have time, I love walking across the Brooklyn Bridge. The air coming off the East River is so refreshing. But if I'm in a rush, I'll hop on the F train. Actually, the commute is one of the most underutilized parts of a daily routine. Most people just stare at their phones or look annoyed.
True, I see so many commuters who look like they're in a bad mood. How can we make it better?
You can use that time to brush up on a skill. For our listeners, their commute is the golden hour for English. Listen to a podcast, read an English book, or even just narrate what you see in your head in English. It turns dead time into growth time.
Dead time into growth time. I love that phrasing. So, once you arrive at the studio or your office, how do you start? Do you check your messages first thing?
Actually, I avoid that. I follow a philosophy called eat the frog. Have you heard of it?
It sounds a bit gross. Does it mean eating an actual frog for breakfast?
Thankfully, no. It's a metaphor. It means you should do your most difficult, most important, or most unpleasant task first thing in the morning. If you eat the frog at 9 a.m., the rest of your day will feel easy in comparison.
I see. I usually do the opposite. I do the easy stuff first, like answering low priority emails or organizing my desk. But then the big, scary project is always sitting in the back of my mind, making me feel anxious.
Exactly. That's called productive procrastination. You feel busy, but you aren't being productive. You have to prioritize your most impactful work when your brain is fresh. In New York, the pressure is high, so you need to be smart about your energy, not just your time.
Let's move forward to about 3 p.m. I call this the afternoon slump. My energy crashes, the coffee from the morning has worn off, and I just want to find a quiet corner to take a nap. What's the professional way to handle this?
The afternoon slump is a biological reality for many. Instead of fighting it with more caffeine, which will only ruin your sleep later, I recommend micro breaks. Stand up, stretch, or walk around the block. In Dumbo, we have these beautiful cobblestone streets. Even a 5-minute walk can reset your brain.
So, no third cup of coffee?
Well, to be honest, if you really need it, have a small one, but try a high-protein snack like almonds instead. Also, this is the time to do low-energy tasks. I do my filing, my scheduling, and my basic emails in the afternoon. Save the deep work for the morning.
That's a great way to prioritize based on energy levels. Now, what about fitness? People in Brooklyn are always running, doing yoga in the park, or hitting these fancy climbing gyms. Where does that fit into a busy day?
I personally prefer to hit the gym right after work, around 6:30 or 6 p.m. For me, exercise is a buffer. It's a wall between my work life and my home life. It helps me burn off steam.
Burn off steam. That's a great idiom. It means to release all that built up stress and frustration from the day, right?
Exactly. If a meeting went poorly or the subway was delayed, I don't want to bring that negative energy home to my family. I leave it on the treadmill. By the time I walk through my front door, I'm relaxed and ready to be present.
The sun is setting and the bridge is glowing and the day is winding down. But for many people, this is when the stress starts again because they're thinking about tomorrow. How do you finish your day properly?
The wind down routine is just as vital as the morning routine. Around 8:30 p.m., I dim the lights in my apartment. I try to avoid blue light from my laptop or TV. This tells my brain that it's time to produce melatonin, the sleep hormone.
I struggle with this the most. I love watching a movie or checking my phone one last time before bed, but then when I turn out the light, my brain starts racing with all the things I forgot to do.
That is exactly why I recommend journaling, or what I call a brain dump. Take a physical notebook, not a phone, and write down everything that is bothering you or everything you need to do tomorrow. Once it's on paper, your brain feels it has permission to let go.
It's like clearing the cache on a computer so it runs faster.
Precisely. And the very last thing I do before I close my eyes is gratitude. I think of 3 specific things that went well today. It could be as simple as the coffee was delicious, or I had a great conversation with Lily in the studio.
I love that. Ending the day on a positive note. It makes the night owl in me feel a bit more at peace.
It's all about consistency, Lily. A routine isn't a prison. It's a framework that gives you the freedom to be your best self. If you control your day, you control your life.
That is a powerful thought to end this section on. James, thank you for walking us through the anatomy of a productive day. I think I have some habits I need to change tomorrow morning.
It starts with one small step. Don't try to change everything at once. Just start by not hitting that snooze button tomorrow.
Wow, that was such an insightful conversation about our daily schedules, James. I feel like I have a lot of work to do on my own routine. But now let's transition into our favorite part of the show, the Golden Five.
I love this segment. For our listeners, this is where we take 5 keywords or phrases from our discussion and break them down. We want you to understand not just what they mean, but how to use them like a real New Yorker.
Exactly. So let's start with word number 1, which is a big one for anyone living in a busy city, prioritize. James, I hear this word everywhere, in the office, in self-help books. What does it really mean in a daily context?
To prioritize means to treat something as more important than other things. Imagine you have 10 tasks. You can't do them all at once, so you decide that task A and B must be done first. You are prioritizing those tasks. In Brooklyn, we often say, I need to prioritize my health, which might mean choosing a salad over a burger or a gym session over a party.
I see. So it's about making a choice. Could I use it for people too? For example, I need to prioritize my family this weekend.
Absolutely. That sounds very natural. It shows that your family is your number one focus. Now, word number 2 is very specific to our location, commute.
I used to think commute just meant travel, but it's a bit more specific than that, right?
Yes, a commute is specifically the journey between your home and your work or school. In New York, the commute is a lifestyle. You'll hear people complain, my commute was a nightmare today because the subway was delayed. You can also use it as a verb. I commute from Brooklyn to Manhattan every morning.
Got it. It's not just a vacation trip, it's a regular daily journey for work. Okay, word number 3 is an idiom that I'm very guilty of using. Hit the snooze button.
Yes, we talked about this. Literally, it's the physical button on your alarm, but we use it as a phrase to describe the act of delaying the start of your day. It's a great phrase for A1 and B1 learners because it's very visual. If you say, I hit the snooze button 3 times, every English speaker will immediately know you were tired and didn't want to get up. It's such a relatable feeling. Now, word number 4 is a word that sounds simple, but people often confuse it with being busy. That word is productive. This is an essential word for self-development. Being productive means you are achieving a lot or getting results. You can be busy for 10 hours doing nothing important. That is not productive. But if you work for 2 hours and finish a big project, that was a very productive session. In New York, we value productivity over just sitting at a desk. That's a good lesson for life, not just for English. And finally, our 5th word, which is my favorite part of the evening, wind down. Think of a toy with a spring that you wind up tight. When you let it go, it slowly spins and relaxes. That is winding down. It's the process of relaxing after a period of stress or work. You might have a wind down routine, like drinking tea or reading. We don't say relax down, we always say wind down. I need at least an hour to wind down after a long day in the studio. Does that sound right? Perfect. You're using it like a pro already. These 5 words are so powerful. Listeners, we challenge you to pick just one of these, maybe prioritize or wind down, and try to use it in a sentence today. Great idea. Learning is about doing, not just listening. As we sit here watching the lights of Manhattan start to glow across the river, I'm feeling really inspired. We've talked about the how-to of routines, the waking up, the commuting, and the winding down. But James, I want to end with the why. That is the most important part, Lily. In a fast-paced city like New York, it's easy to feel like a robot just following a schedule. But a daily routine is actually a deeply personal philosophy. It's an act of self-respect. When you choose a routine, you're telling yourself that your time is valuable and your goals matter.
So it's not about being perfect or being a superhuman?
Not at all. It's about consistency over perfection. Think about learning English. You don't become fluent by studying for 10 hours once a month. You become fluent by listening to a podcast for 15 minutes every single day during your commute. The same applies to your health, your career, and your happiness.
I love that. Small habits repeated daily lead to massive results over time. It's like building a skyscraper, one brick at a time.
Exactly. And remember, your routine should serve you, not the other way around. If a routine makes you miserable, change it. Find the rhythm that gives you energy. Control your morning so the day doesn't control you.
That is such a powerful takeaway. I'm definitely going to rethink my snooze button habit tomorrow morning. To all our listeners, we hope this episode gave you both the English tools and the motivation to build a routine that works for you.
It's been a pleasure sharing these thoughts in such a beautiful Brooklyn setting. Remember, progress is a journey, not a destination. Keep practicing your English, keep showing up for yourself, and keep those routines strong.
Thank you for joining us today. Before we wrap up, we have one last question for you. What is the one small habit you want to start tomorrow? Let us know in the comments.
We look forward to hearing your stories. Stay focused and stay inspired.
We'll see you in the next episode.